When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Let's tell you about the discovery of a hidden fountain underneath the streets of Montreal. You know, in our last segment where we were talking about your gripes and kudos transit-wise for the week, boy, we could have easily had a gripe from me or one of you saying, you know what, the construction they've been doing on Pine Avenue, it's been going on forever. What is happening there? That could easily have been a gripe. But you know what? That construction has led to an interesting discovery. Maybe a reason why it's taking a little bit longer. The remains of Montreal's first botanical garden, which a long time ago hosted a beluga whale and elephants, was discovered during the repair of Pine Avenue. So there's a story to tell about that construction that's happening right now on Pine Avenue. With more on this, we go to Jonathan Choronzey, an archaeologist and project manager at Ethnoscop. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello. How are you?
Doing well. Why don't you tell us what was discovered during the repair of Pine Avenue?
Well, first, plenty of things. The project started last year, so we were hired by the City of Montreal with our big project to reconstruct the aqueduct and all the underground services of Pine Avenue. So we started first last year on the phase one of the project between Saint-Laurent and Saint-Denis. And this year it was west from Saint-Laurent to Avenue du Parc. So what was found more specifically with the Guilbeault Gardens is what we think could be a part of the stone foundation of a fountain that was there, part of a big botanical garden / zoo / venue for circuses and things like that.
Wow.
So between Clark Street and Saint Laurent, there was some landscaping, including a big fountain. And so underneath the street, there was this stone structure that could have been the base, the foundation of that fountain.
Jonathan, how long ago are we talking about? What year was this garden in place and these fountains?
The owner of the place, Joseph-Édouard Guilbeault, he started selling trees and plants for people in the city. And he kind of moved his business in a few places. And he between 1862 and 1869, he ended up constructing this kind of big theme park, which became very, very popular among all people from all walks of life in Montreal. So it was between 1860 and 1869.
Wow, unbelievable to get a little peek at Montreal's past. Now, Jonathan, off the top, I joked, like construction sometimes takes so long, and maybe these kinds of things make construction take a longer time. But I actually have I feel quite strongly that when we do projects like these, that we make sure we try and find out about our past if we can. So why don't you tell me about this aspect? Why is it so important when we're going to redo a street for us to take the time to see what's under there?
Well, it's important for a number of reasons. First, there's the scientific aspect. We collect all kinds of data from studying the food diet of the people living in the 19th century to the on a bigger scale, studying the evolution of the urban landscape itself and how the city changed and evolved. On another level, I think it's important also because it kind of creates a sense of belonging with the city, and it kind of provides it brings back history in a very tangible way, and you see that people are very interested. People on the street, the passersby, it's often the same people that, that you see every day, and people are very interested, and it kind of creates a bond with the past, and people are really interested, as I said.
We're with Jonathan Choronzey, an archaeologist and project manager at Ethnoscop, part of the team that has been working at the site on Pine Avenue as construction's happening there. And boy, have they discovered so many things underneath that street in Montreal. So, Jonathan, why don't you tell us about, when you make these discoveries and you find, portions of a fountain and you find remnants of what people used to own in that area. So how do you deal with it? Like, what stuff is kept? What stuff do you need to just, bury again? Like, how does it work on determining what you do with the things you find?
Well, it depends on what you find, actually. If it's like a big stone structure, if it can be left there, it will be preserved. Sometimes it's impossible because you need to pass pipes and stuff. So it depends really on the context. As for the objects, the objects that are collected during the dig, we collect them, we clean them. It's entered in a big catalog, and all these data are sent back to the city of Montreal. They have a place where they host the archaeological collections. And this is eventually available for other researchers or archaeologists or historians to study in the future.
And I would imagine some of it ends up on display at times in museums and the like?
Yes, it's possible sometimes, yeah. If you have like special objects, that comes out of the ordinary, yes, it can be a case.
Jonathan, as we wrap up here, maybe is there a story that you think you can tell based on what you found on Pine Avenue that's of interest that we haven't touched on yet?
A story, maybe not a story, but it's always nice to see sometimes objects or structures that are very well preserved. For example, we found on Hôtel de Ville a big barrel that was used for a latrine, an outhouse, and the barrel was in perfect condition, I would say. It could have been used today for the same function.
Wow. Well, it sounds fascinating, Jonathan. Your line of work sounds absolutely fascinating. And I do really do think it's important that, when we do things like this, when we've got to do construction projects, that we take the extra effort to preserve our history. Thanks so much for shedding some light on those efforts.
You're welcome.
That is Jonathan Choronzey, an archaeologist and project manager at Ethnoscop. So the next time you're walking on Pine Avenue next to that construction, take a little peek and see some of the sites of a previous Montreal.